A whole bunch of brand new Xbox games were announced in recent weeks, so here's a little quick rundown of all the latest reveals just to help you guys keep your gaming calendars nice and up to date, because I know that you like to stay organised like that. And we're going to start off with one that you can actually play right now, because the developers, well, they were kind enough to shadow drop it straight onto Xbox. It's Kill the Brickman. From the creators of Vampire Survivors, which you can check out now on Game Pass, Kill the Brickman takes its inspiration from old school arcade brick breakers and then just adds a little roguelike flair just to spice things up. You create your own loadouts by combining powerful relics and all sorts of different bullets, and then you just go blasting through a whole range of missions, including a bunch of exciting boss fights. Now, I don't know exactly what the Brickman did to deserve all this animosity, but you know what? Kill the Brickman is just so Moorish that I also don't really care. You're dying, Brickman. You're dead. The dark fantasy Soulslike Lords of the Fallen has a standalone sequel in the works with a story that takes place 100 years later. So you probably don't even need to play the first one to understand what's even going on. Although you might still want to, and it is available on Game Pass, so why not? This year's 2.0 update actually upgraded the previous game in all sorts of ways, and the developers have promised that the follow-up will be building further on everything that players loved about the original game, while also elevating it to a new and altogether more frightening place, which both sounds brilliant, really promising stuff, guys, but also sounds a bit intimidating. Now, Lords of the Fallen 2 is technically the third game in the series, so yeah, it's kind of a goat simulator situation. But will this one be goated? Well, we'll find out when it arrives next year. In 2026, Lego Batman is going to be grabbing stuff from every corner of the Batcave for Legacy of the Dark Knight. This new brick-based Bat adventure basically just looks like a big celebration of all things Batman, with bits and pieces from all different versions of the Caped Crusader appearing in one big open-world version of Gotham City, along with a combat system that has a distinctly Arkham Trilogy feel to it. In the meantime, though, Game Pass players can play LEGO Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, and Batman Arkham Knight, and just kind of smush them together to scratch that LEGO Batman itch. Or not. You're cool. Speaking of Game Pass, members will be able to dig into Tropico 7 on the very day that it launches next year, which is quite good, because when you're the morally unscrupulous president of an ambitious island nation, there's always a lot to do. The new entry in the Tropical Management Sim series will feature the biggest islands yet, along with more than 20 sandbox maps for you to exert your influence in, and a new terraforming feature that lets you literally move mountains. Plus, there's a whole range of new options for customizing your president so you can look nice and dapper while you crush your people's civil liberties. Because someone has to. Then, from the tropics of Tropico, we're heading over to Vietnam for a brand new Hell Let Loose game. The large-scale FPS is back, and it's giving players the chance to fight their way through the Vietnam War in intense 50 vs 50 showdowns, and there are 6 huge maps, each of them authentically recreating real-world locations, and players are going to have to work together and think strategically if they want to triumph on them. Everything from the tactics to the terrain to the weaponry, they've all been designed with authenticity in mind. So expect one of the most immersive jungle warfare experiences ever when Hell Let Loose Vietnam rolls around in 2026. Seemed to me like 14th century Italy is not the easiest place to get by, at least according to 1348 ex voto. Got banditry, religious zealotry, and deadly pestilence, and they're all rife in this third-person adventure, which has players taking a knight-errant on a quest to rescue her loved one. And to top it all off, tomatoes, well, they wouldn't come to Italy for like another century or two, so forget about even getting a nice marinara sauce for your troubles, or a pizza, or anything. I'll tell you what you will get to take part in: thrilling sword fights, and you'll battle your way through a gorgeously recreated piece of the past, taking in an epic story of love and sacrifice as you go. Set to arrive next year, 1348 ex voto definitely looks like one for the Assassin's Creed fans to keep an eye on. But what other historical places and periods would you love to play in? Why don't you hit the comments with your dream destinations? Because nothing beats well, you know the rest. Bistro is a colourful new game that's all about the 3 C's: coziness, cooking, and cartoon animals. I mean, a CA, but whatever. Now, lots of games, they put the player in a magical village that's been threatened by darkness and monsters, with only a handful of brave warriors left to defend it. But the twist here is that you won't be playing as those warriors, you're going to be playing as one of the cooks, who cooks for them. Gather ingredients and learn each customer's taste so that you can send them into battle with their bellies full. When they come back, you can relive those battles in the form of turn-based deck-building combat. It's just a really well-balanced meal of a game, and Bistro is going to be coming straight to Game Pass in 2026. Now, thanks to a certain lasagna gobbling glutton, Busby might not be the most famous orange cat around, but he's still a very important one, and now he's coming back with his first adventure since the 90s. Remember them? The 90s? Yeah, pretty good back then. Busby 4D promises to be a classically styled cartoon platformer, just like they used to make them back in the heyday, and that means lush, cel-shaded graphics, loads of collectibles, and wisecracking sidekicks aplenty, while Busby's patented pounce move gives the actual platforming a distinctive feel of its own. Busby 4D is set to release sometime in 2026, at which point we'll presumably find out what exactly makes it four-dimensional. Hopefully not smell-o-vision or something weird. The team behind BPM Bullets Per Minute is going to be back in 2026 with a new game that remixes things into a whole new style while still maintaining that pulse-pounding tempo. BPM Bit Crushed is a top-down roguelike shooter where you have to shoot, jump, and dodge in time to the beat. You're going to need rhythm and reflexes to succeed here, although even if you fail, you'll still get to enjoy those tunes and the nostalgia-inducing pixel art graphics. And in fact, there's a custom music option that lets you blast along to your own favourite songs. I never thought I'd get to play a top-down shooter to the tune of Uptown Girl, but you know what? Dreams really do come true. Football is all about great rivalries. Celtic vs Rangers, Real vs Barcelona, Arsenal vs their own all-consuming love of second place. Sorry, Sam. And our rematch is going to have competition with the arrival of Freestyle Football 2. And like this year's summer sensation, Freestyle Football 2 is a five-a-side footy game that mixes over-the-top style with deep strategic gameplay. This one, though, has got a bit of a hero shooter vibe to it, with 12 distinctive characters to choose from at launch. And just like Rematch, Freestyle Football 2 is coming straight to Game Pass when it launches sometime next year. The creators of Ghost Runner are back with another intense first-person action game, and this one is a Napoleonic Soulslike called Valor Mortis. You know, from the Latin. Valor meaning valor, and Mortis meaning that guy who hangs around with Rick, I think. I don't know, I skipped Latin. Playing as a soldier who's brought back from a battlefield grave, you're going to be fighting through a legion of plague-ridden abominations, some of whom are actually looking quite sharp in their old-timey uniforms. Master a variety of era-specific weapons and then hone your skills while also unlocking a range of supernatural powers just to throw into the mix and also uncover the secret to your unexpected resurrection. Valor Mortis looks set to be a Soulslike quite like no other, and it's going to be here sometime next year. Dench Attack is a skateboarding game, except it's not a skateboard you're riding, it's a highly customizable, futuristic, gravity-defying train. Got it? Great. That was easy. The whole thing takes place in a stunningly stylish version of dystopian Japan, where you'll be using your skills to wow rival gangs, take down evil corporations, and just to look really, really cool in the process. There are wacky bosses to take on and equally wacky friends to be made, and the whole thing looks exactly the right sort of bonkers. Plus, it's coming day one to Game Pass in 2026. Lucky. Speaking of lucky, well, the team behind the Friday the 13th game have got their hands on yet another iconic slasher villain, with Halloween the game set to arrive next year. Mike Myers is back, complete with original actor Nick Castle for some 4v1 asymmetrical fun. So that means that you can play as the masked man himself, stalking the residents of Haddonfield with a variety of sinister powers and just general creepiness, or as the residents themselves as they try to escape. Using the Unreal Engine 5 to deliver stunning graphics complete with cinema quality lighting, Halloween the game promises to be a properly horrifying experience. Wildkin is yet another game that's coming straight to Game Pass in 2026. So this one is an online multiplayer adventure with a distinctly old school feel. Playing along with three adorable anthropomorphic pals, Wildkin has you exploring a vast pixel art world and using whatever you find to make your corner of it even prettier. You can battle monsters, you can gather loot, and then you just head back home to redecorate, farm, and take part in community activities. There are endless friends to make and quests to undertake, plus the opportunity to get into a spirited argument about turnips. I mean, Wildkin's got it all, man. American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2 have been available on PC for quite a while now, and soon both of them games are going to be hauling ass to Xbox consoles. And that means console players will get to carry cargo all over both of those beautiful continents, growing their businesses with each successful delivery and then steadily adding new trucks, garages, and drives to their fleets. work tirelessly to maximize your profits, or, just enjoy the scenery as you roll by hundreds of famous landmarks. Whichever way you like to play it, just remember the immortal words of Marge Bouvier Simpson. Keep on trucking. Tactical warfare and FPS intensity are coming together, just tucked inside a lumbering metal death machine with World of Tanks Heat. Get ready for 10v10 tank-on-tank warfare across a diverse range of battlefields. And there are a whole range of high-tech tanks to pick from and so many ways to customize them, allowing you to design your own unique combat vehicle with tons of room for experimentation. And best of all, the developers have announced that World of Tanks Heat is going to be totally free to play. I mean, what do you even say to that? Tanks, I guess? Nah. Shenmue 3 brought the cult classic action-adventure series back in 2019 thanks to overwhelming fan demand. And now the third game is being brought back again with a shiny new enhanced edition that's on the way to PC and Xbox Series X and S. And that means players can once again follow teenage martial artist Ryu Hazuki as he searches for his father's killer, just kicking all sorts of ass and doing the odd bit of forklift driving along the way. And as the name suggests, the enhanced edition is going to bring all sorts of enhancements to Shenmue 3. So we're getting sharper textures, faster load times, gameplay tweaks, and just the fact that the game's open world is going to be much busier and more populated. But finally, we know that this isn't actually a newly announced game, but we also know that some of you are getting a little worried, so just to make sure that everyone knows, yes, Hollow Knight Silksong is real, we've played it, and it's coming straight to Game Pass on September 4th. Oh yeah, and also, yeah, it's really good, obviously. It's the sequel to the beloved bug-battling side-scroller, which you can play right now on Game Pass if you like. And it features the same fast-paced combat and deliciously creepy visuals, but it's got plenty of new moves as well. You're going to be throwing kunai and facing off with formidable new insects, and the healing system, that's even been revamped, and combat encourages you to be even more aggressive this time around. Oh yeah, and it's really good, like I said, obviously. Of course, you never know when a new game announcement might just sneak out there, so you should probably just go ahead and subscribe to Xbox On and ring that little bell too, just to be safe. See you in the next one. Bye!